You've fought MMA, but you have fought the who's who of kickboxing, from Badahari to Peter Arts to Crocop, Andy Hug, Ernesto Hoost, Jerome LeBanner.
Peter Arts.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And Spong, who's
Right.
with the pinnacle of his career still. You fought Crocop, was your last fight.
Right.
Do you have an itch to get back in there, or you kind of?
I can't wait. Matter of fact, I had a match that's offered to me to fight December 1st. But at the moment, because I have such a hectic schedule right now, I may have to turn that fight down. Although I have been training, but not. My thing is like, listen, I've had 93 pro fights. I want to have 7 more, reach 100, and then look at retirement. But in this last 7 fights, I want to be able to come out and give it 150%. I don't want it just to be a number. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I'm really seriously thinking about this fight, knowing that I don't have enough time to. The only reason why I took the fight with Crocop last time was because it was supposed to be his last fight. Although I knew I didn't have the time to train for it, I didn't want to pass the opportunity to say that I did fight him. Win or lose it, that wasn't the case for me. It was just the fact that I was going to, I wanted to go in there and mix it up with him, and knowing that if he, win or lose, it didn't matter at that point in time. But I didn't want to pass the opportunity to fight him. But then when he announced that he was that he was going to continue fighting, that was kind of disappointing to me because
you had the last.
Otherwise I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would have waited until a later date and have enough time to have a full camp. Because at that point in time, I was in Brazil for 2 weeks, came home for a week, Chicago for a week, and this is all for my guys that fought in UFC. Came home for for a week, flew to Sydney for a week, Australia,
right.
Came back for 12 hours, jumped on the plane, flew to Croatia, and fought him 3 days later. So, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have taken that fight if I knew that wasn't going to be his last fight. But that being said, I'd love to fight him again with a full camp. Right now, obviously my main focus is the event, and we're just fighting November 3rd, and then I have Martin Kaplan that's fighting in the UFC in Montreal, Canada, November 17th. And I think my time is pretty kind of stacked at the moment, but I like to look at fighting early next month, early January if possible.
And I know we could talk. You have so many fights, but I said, before I did this interview with you, I said, let me ask him about your first K-1 fight with Ernesto Hoost.
Right.
And then give me your proudest accomplishment as a kickboxer, and give me your biggest disappointment.
The fight against Ernesto Hoost, the first fight with him, I almost turned it down, because everything went wrong in that camp, from torn hamstring, hurting my knee, breaking up with my girlfriend at the time. Like, anything you can think about went wrong.
Right.
And this was my opportunity to showcase who Sefo was in my first K-1 fight. But everything went wrong. I didn't even have a contract. I had a fight that was offered to me. This wasn't even a contract. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, what do I do? And the guys, my training partners and my brothers were like, Ray, we don't think you should take the fight. And I'm thinking, here's the problem I face. If I don't take this could be a one-time opportunity. And if I don't give it a go, it may never come around again. Although I'm no way near, I think I must have been 10-20% ready for that fight.
Wow.
And I said to the guys, all I know is if I don't put him away in the first round, he's going to have to knock me out cold to get me out of that ring. And so I went in there with that mindset that Ernesto, if I don't stop Ernesto in the first round, he was going to have to knock me out cold. And I didn't give a damn how he was going to do it, but that's the only way he was going to get me out of that ring. So after halfway through the first round, I could barely breathe. the fight continued. Came out second round, and that's just smashed my leg. I could feel my leg going numb. Fight continued. I smashed it again. I dropped. I get an 8 count. The referee's like, I'm going to stop the fight. I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. I get up. We go at it again towards the end, any seconds of that round. I think it was second round. He smashes my leg again. I fucking go down. Another 8 count. The referee's looking at me thinking, I need to stop this fight. And I'm looking, I'm good. I'm waving Ernesto on. The bell rings go out. Third round came. A repeat of the second. Fourth round came. The first half. The repeat of the third.
Wow.
So, and I just wouldn't. And the referee's looking at me going, I'm going to stop the fight. I'm like, no, I'm good. So, I'm hopping across the ring. Knowing I'm just waiting for that head kick to come. But, not that I was wanting that hit to come, but I'm thinking, okay, I got to keep my hands up. You know what I mean? And I get to the, so I think it was kind of like halfway through the fourth, but then I'm told afterwards that the towel gets thrown in. Then I'm told that what happened was that, I forget the head coach from Japan, from the Japanese team, went over to my corner and says, listen, that kid has got balls, but he's losing this fight. There's no point of him getting beat up, and because that's what's happening right now. So they threw the towel, So after that, the very next day, I get a phone call to come downstairs to the lobby because Mr. Ishii wanted to have lunch with me.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that's a great sign. So I go down there and I meet him again, and sits down and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I could be better." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm really sorry that I didn't perform the way I wanted to. These are the reasons why. No excuse. I understand if you don't want me back." He goes, "No, matter of fact, you show a lot of balls in there. I haven't seen that in a long time. So, he's a 2-year contract."
Wow.
And that was the beginning of my career as a K-1 fighter. So it was a very I don't want to say it was a downtime, because I knew going into that fight that if I wasn't able to put Ernesto away in the first round, he was going to beat me up or knock me out. So I was prepared to face the facts that could be my only fight in K1. Lo and behold, it wasn't. 15 years later, I'm still there. The most down moments of my career, I don't know. Listen, I've had a great career. I fought the best of the best in the world. There's not many people that can say that. And I've beaten them, they've beaten me. I don't look at it being a down moment. I think things happen for a reason, and sometimes things happen that's not in your control. But that's life, you just go, okay, it is what it is, and you move forward, and you keep what becomes a life lesson, and the rest is history, you know what I mean? And so, I had great battles with the best of the best. Ernesto Hoost, Peter Ertz, Jerome Lebana, Francisco Filho, Andy Hogue, the list goes on. And no regrets whatsoever. Other than that, I think my biggest, the proudest moments of my career is to say that I was able to share the ring with the best of the best in the world.
Well, you've had an outstanding career, Ray, and we look forward to seeing it carry over as you were president in your promotion, World Series of Fighting, which again, November 3rd, that's going to be on NBC Sports. We give you nothing but warm wishes and best of luck here. Hopefully it's a success for you, and I'm sure we'll be watching. With the rest of the MMA world will be fixated. So hopefully it goes well with you, and your first show goes off without a hitch. Thank you very much for a few minutes today.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And obviously for us as a fighter promoter, we can't do this without you guys either. So thanks to you and the rest of the media out there that is putting in time to report what we do and how we do it. So my hat off to you guys as well. So thank you.